Okay, line 6. No, excuse me, line 8. Here's the line. It is obvious today that America has defaulted on this promissory note. Promissory note is like a check. Insofar as her citizens of color are concerned, instead of honoring this sacred obligation, America has given the Negro people a bad check. A check which has come back marked insufficient funds. Basically, it's saying we can have freedom for everybody, but sorry, black people. But we refuse to believe that the bank of justice is bankrupt. Basically, Martin Luther King is saying, I don't believe you when you say you can't give equal rights to black people. What we're talking about here is I took the chance to talk about the way local blacks were treated in the chain gang system and eugenics. In the chain gang system, what the chain gang system used to be is right around planting season, the local sheriff would go out into the black community. And when he went out to the black community, here's a lot of the origin of a lot of your vagrancy laws. They would find any black male, 13 or older, walking around. They would arrest them for some little petty thing. They go to court, get convicted. They're added to the chain gang. A chain gang is you put two men are chained together, so neither one of them can run away without forcing the other one to run away too. And what the warden would do, the local farmers would have a contract with the warden, and give the warden money, and the warden would send prisoners to go work on the local farmer's farm, planting corn, cotton, whatever. While the plants were growing, then the warden would have those same prisoners work for the city or the county making roads, putting asphalt on roads. Very hard work. When it's time to pick the crops, the local farmer and the warden would have another contract, and it would have the prisoners pick. Now, the prisoners are not getting paid for any of this. This is another form of slavery, which eventually is kicked out. In my book, we have some lessons so your kids learn about the chain gang system. Second thing, also in this line, is about injustice. The United States used to have a lot of eugenics laws. Eugenic law is basically saying you got to stay inside your race. Whites had to stay with whites, blacks had to stay with blacks, Spanish had to stay with Spanish. If you mingled between the races, if you just dated somebody that was a different race, that was probably a 5-year prison sentence. If you married somebody outside the race, that was probably a 10-year prison sentence. If you were caught having sex with someone from another race, that was an extra 5 years added on. None of this concurrent stuff. What we're talking about is a case where a black woman and a white man who grew up as kids fell in love, and they got married. They got married in the District of Columbia, went back to their home state. When they went back to their home state, they were arrested. They lost their case, eventually went to the Supreme. They lost their case and they tried to kick them out of the state for 25 years. The case eventually got to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court outlawed all the eugenics laws all throughout the South. Just imagine somebody from the 1950s. This is the 1950s America. And you got to have a separation of all the races. Someone in the 1950s got into a hot tub time machine, came to the year 2020, and they saw black and white and Orientals and mixing together, loving each other together freely, LGBT all over the place. They would swear they were not in the United States of America. That is how much the United States has changed. And thank you for the civil rights movement, that old America is gone forever. If you want to learn more about it, purchase my book, I Have a Dream for Kids and Parents.